My beautiful stars, reading time. So we've got a sense of urgency reading, but I normally go for those purple cards, but I'm being called to go for these first. So I just want to confirm the main collective, and we'll get into those cards. What's your main focus right now? Main collective. One more. Oh no, we've got 5. Okay, perfect. All right. So right now, first card, chaos. So you could feel like you're in a bit of a storm emotionally, trying to break free from certain things that you think control you physically, emotionally. Confusion makes sense with this. Trying to break free. Wow, dark night of the soul. And you're trying to cleanse and clear. Okay, so this collective, you're clearly overwhelmed. To have dark night of the soul and chaos here, I always say going through this, it's very confronting. It's quite painful. It does cause confusion. It does make us reevaluate things in our life, emotion. Makes us reevaluate a lot. It really drags up the things in the bottom of our soul that we've really been subsiding, sometimes dissociating from. So this collective, even though this is these two, beautiful. You don't want to be controlled by your emotion right now. You're really focusing on cleansing and clearing. You could have actually just done a beautiful cleanse and clear of your home. So a deep cleanse. But like opening up all your windows, saging out your house. This collective, this clearly isn't the first time you've gone through one of these. Just with this approach here. This is really beautiful, okay, but it doesn't mean it's not sending confusion and overwhelming you, but you definitely feel like you've got a bit of static over the mind. Maybe you're really questioning your intuition right now, mistaking it for your overthinking. All right, chaos. And side note, I'm hearing this. You could actually be going through, especially because Dark Night of the Soul is here, you could be going through either memories of certain conflicts from childhood, family-wise, or it could be happening in the physical. Maybe you're having a little bit of chaos with family members, close friends, work colleagues. I don't just think this is an internal storm for the collective. I think it's external, person on your mind, love-wise as well. All right, chaos. Okay, addictions make sense when we go through a dark night of the soul. Those things that control us, those things that take us out of balance, we really start to reevaluate and focus. So for this to be underneath chaos, it's either addictive, obsessive thought patterns. It's things to do with things that you know do not benefit your soul in daily habits. So consumption of things. You could really be, let's put it to substances. Maybe you've just started to take a path of sobriety, and let's be real, that just drags up so much stuff. When you're used to living a life where you're taking things to suppress or numb your emotion daily, and then you stop doing that, of course you're going to feel this ignition of emotion. You're starting to think... I do say a path of sobriety, it normally takes a good couple years to really come into an emotional balance again, but I just think this collective, you're definitely aware of the things that make you feel chaotic, and this collective, you don't like it. You want to take control of it, which is beautiful. Okay, breaking free. From the so you're waiting for someone. Again, I'm wanting to do a sense of urgency reading, so this would cause frustration as well, but this is what the right collective you want to break free from. So even though you're craving communication, you know that thought pattern for you does not serve you. It's not healthy. So it's not like you're sitting there trying to manifest them or doing subliminals or, you know, pining at your phone, checking your phone. This collective specifically, you don't like feeling like that, okay? This is a focus. Remember, what we're going through now is your main focus. So if this isn't a main focus, not your collective. If you're not focusing on these things and trying to make good habits and changes in your life, not for you. If you don't feel like you're going through another layer of your shadow, dark night of the soul, not for you. Sorry, I just want to confirm that. You're working so hard to really purify yourself, especially when it comes to emotion. Confusion. Okay. This makes sense. You do have fear over the static on your mind. I always say this, when you guys first like kind of activate, you guys go through multiple ascension periods, and I haven't spoken about it for a while, but normally when you first activate those ascension periods, they're like crippling. You can stay in bed, you just feel sorry for yourself, you feel miserable. I always say an ascension shouldn't last any longer than 3 to 7 days. Like if it's going past that, maybe go speak to a healthcare professional. But a true ascension, you're recycling an emotion, right? An outlook that doesn't serve you. You're upgrading your mind. So that ascension period, it's a full focus of what's holding you back. And normally when you start, it's either matters of the heart, deep trauma. You know what's making you overwhelmed. You know what's putting you in that 9 of Swords because it's your main focus. But once you've been on this journey for a long time, sometimes you guys don't even realize you're having an ascension anymore, because it's not one specific thing you're ascending from. It's like all these different things are just overwhelming you. Sometimes you feel like you're getting depressed. It feels different, right? This collective, with how many different things are on your mind, I just think this static, this blockage, this void in your brain right now, I think you actually feel, there's a reason I said depressed, and again, if you're really feeling that way, make sure you go speak to someone. But I just think, because this doesn't feel like a normal layer being ripped away or a normal ascension that's really kept you crippled and miserable and tears and in bed for a few days. It's like this confusion you're feeling. You're either stressing that you've got a big storm coming, and I find a lot of spiritual people, you go through this, when there's that nagging anxiety, automatically you think, is there a tower coming? Is something about to shift? I just feel this collective, because it's not just smack bang one thing you're focusing on. You could be stressing this static in the mind that there's literally something about to kind of whirlwind through your life. And I'm going to be honest, I think it's just you upgrading your mind, but I will confirm everything. But definitely the confusion and the static you're feeling, you're probably questioning everything right now, and it is creating a bit of fear. It's blocking your root chakra. So you are quite fearful of what's coming next, if this will come next. And it makes sense with why you would probably be thinking, I need to get better habits. Maybe this might help me with this blockage in my mind right now. I want one more for confusion and fear. Yeah, the karma, that's what I feel. This says clearing and healing, but I feel this collective, it's like you think something bad's about to happen. I don't think so, but anyway, we will confirm. But you're just clearing and healing, you're ascending. So we're switching a thought pattern. Do you know this right now? Clearly not. But I think deep down in your soul, your intuition, not your overthinking, you have had moments of thinking, I'm either just going through another rebirth or I'm ascending right now. Dark night of the soul. Especially with this being here, this dark night of the soul, you're ripping through another layer. Okay, so again, developing in the mind, but you could be connected to someone. You could be in an age gap connection, but I more think with the theme of this, it's the development up here. You're maturing emotionally. I'm not saying you're not emotionally, not that you're not emotionally mature, but with every layer we get through, we become more and more self-aware and socially aware. We develop constantly in the mind. Let's get one more for that. And let's just say, side note, more 3D outlook. You could also think, if you are in an age gap connection, maybe there's been a thought for you that the reason your energy is so interfered right now is this person connected to you is going through a dark night of the soul, and you're picking up that energy, especially with this, you're trying to cleanse your auric space right now. So your energy, you could be feeling like you have someone accessing you as well, especially if this has just come out of nowhere, like this intensity. Telepathy at the bottom, like you're connected. Yeah, someone's watching you, as we said it. So I think all deviations for that is valid, but you're trying to cleanse this out. Okay, so interference from people spying on your social media, lurking. Okay. Oh. That's actually an important deviation because it confirmed as soon as we said it. All right, let's just get one more overall. This makes sense. When I feel a sense of urgency reading, anyone that watches me regularly, I always go for that purple deck. I needed to get this first. There's a few big things here right now, especially this middle row. The right collective, that's probably one of the most important details of recent, either today, as you were going to sleep last night, you really feel like something bad's about to happen in your life. Don't make it fit. You really believe there's something karma-wise. Remember, it's not, when we awaken, it's not just this life. We're clearing our karma. It's the lives we've had here. That purple curtain carries from life to life. So I really feel this collective. This is important. About mirroring. So you definitely feel that you've got someone, again, you're questioning, is this me or is this them? All right, you definitely think your mirror is being accessed. Wouldn't surprise me if you think you're in a divine pairing. I've got majority of my collectives, you believe you're divine, so that wouldn't surprise me. And I've put that over the age gap, dark night of the soul, and that's one of divines. That's one of your societal issues. I find a lot of you guys have quite large age gaps. Okay. Now let's get this purple deck, see what's around you, and then we're going to break this all down and give you guys some clarity here. Communicate at the bottom. Pregnancy, that could be a detail for you as well. Maybe that's what you think this storm, this news is you're going to get. Why am I being called to... I might have to get that little deck as well. Okay. I'm hearing 2 and 3. Hold on, let's get you a dice. Let's get you a grey dice. Grey's the colour of balancing your energy. You could just intuitively be wearing grey today. I always say people don't understand the significance of colours. What you dress in intuitively in the morning and you think you're just putting clothes on, colours create an energy, right? So if you've put grey on today, maybe black is protection, white, new beginnings, pink is love. Like, you should learn about colours. I talk about this all the time. There's a reason I listed those colours. Oh, you got the skull. Safe travel. Okay. Again, you got it again. I feel this is a now reading. They're not wanting to get... You just got it twice. 2. I heard 2 straight away. I think from now till 2 days for this collective, but then I did hear 3. 2nd of the 3rd, 3rd of the 2nd could be an important date, birthday, or the number 23 could be important for this collective as well. Okay. Now, next 48 hours. Oh, there's that. Pregnancy is important for this collective. So let's see what's with it, because you got health here. Okay, making room for the new beginning that's on its way. I think there's stress here. I normally see this as mental anxiety, this health card. You could actually, though, be going through a bit of health anxiety. I'm hearing so many things for this pregnancy detail. One, you either struggle to have children. Two, there's a lot of nagging in your mind about a pregnancy. So either you feel the person on your mind maybe has gotten someone pregnant, or you're stressing about a past pregnancy, or maybe there's a pregnancy that ties you to your mirror. Okay, but this collective really confirms the first part, especially with all the changes you're wanting to make. It wouldn't surprise me if you've had something like health issue arise that's making you focus on these things as well. Okay, I'll get one more for your top row. I think that health ties into this pregnancy, though, I'm going to be honest, but we'll get one more for your top row, and I'll... Whoa, too many. That's funny, that just went on my angel aura quartz. You could have just got an angel aura quartz, or you have a spirit baby on your shoulder, a lost pregnancy. Okay, so you are reminiscing, and there's someone connected to you that's reminiscing. This is what's really going to be clear in your energy from now till the next couple days. So reminiscing, someone you have a lot of sexual chemistry with, and intimacies on the table here. Okay. Let's confirm these. Okay, so this pregnancy is a cycles thing. So this is something that's played out in your cycle. So that kind of takes a few of the deviations away. I think it's more, this is about fate karma, something ended, something's about to begin. I really feel this main collective, there's either been a lost pregnancy here that unfortunately was not the right time for you. I hate talking about this in a collective reading. It's such a sensitive kind of topic for people, I get it, but this is something that's repeated in cycles for you, this detail with, you know how I always talk about our 2-year karmic cycle and the things we don't learn in our shadow. So at the start of the cycle we get blessings. If we're not learning, if we're not developing, becoming self, our cycles get harder and harder and harder. There is something for the right collective. When it comes to pregnancy, this is kind of something that repeats in your life. Let it be you again, maybe struggle with this, or you've been trying to have kids for a long time, or you tend to call in people where this is like a detail that's tied to you, right? So don't make it fit. I want one more for that. Okay, so this pregnancy, it was when you were living with a partner. There's something here that, sorry, it's just sense of, I say all readings, you should not have discernment, but especially sense of urgency readings. This is about living with your partner, but it's also about a change of residence. So maybe in your cycle, you fell pregnant, you had to move, or something happened with a pregnancy and you kind of moved straight away. There's something here about a change of residence, either when falling pregnant or something about pregnancy. But this is about to come back around in your cycle in the next couple days. This is a big detail here. All right, making room for the new, that's where your caution is right now. Whatever's coming, they're saying you've got to find out a little bit more information, but don't overwork yourself doing it. This new beginning, and we've got fate, you've got two about something that ended is about to begin, but there is more information needed here. Don't rush anything, but also don't get into complete agony and mental mind ache over it. You can see that's kind of what you're going through now. I want, again, one more for that. Okay, it's to do with commitment, but luck is on your side, so you don't have to stress. You could just be an over-analyzer, an over-processor. These two are good, but again, don't rush it. So commitment, things are about to, I feel you've got a very important conversation that unfortunately has not had a full circle moment. That's where my mind's leading me. So the right collective, your mind should have taken you to kind of the same thought pattern. Wow, guardian angel, so you have lost someone. So again, it could be a lost child, but also there's there's so much energy around this collective. It's making sense with that first part. This is a loved one is watching over you. You could have just, unfortunately, and if anyone has lost someone of recent, my heart goes out to you. There's something here to do with health issues and someone passing from health issues, okay? Or this could be a stress of yours. But remember I said you could also have a guardian, a little spirit bubblesy next to you, guiding you. But again, I think this is the stuff that's going to be illuminated. Let's get one more in the next 2 days. This could have been tied into financial things as well here. And it could have been an earth sign, but something's about to ground for this detail here. I'm even hearing a fur baby. But again, that's the biggest thing. There's something grounding. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There we go. So someone you've been physically and emotionally distant with, and there's been a lot of waiting here, at least a few months. It says good things come to those who wait. Okay, you've got someone this makes sense with this caution. That was a little bit, unfortunately, in your mind, quite sneaky here. Some mistruths, maybe. Okay. Again, it's wanting to, this is the person spying on you. So you can feel it. You're first that watching. So it is them. That's what you're trying to cleanse out. So you're really onto it. They'll be back. Okay. So this last row, this person reminiscing sexual chemistry, wouldn't surprise me. The pregnancy tied into that person. You've been waiting a few months. Okay. But this person's watching you. They're doing more research right now. And this is why you were so cautious, probably. If you really believe this is your mirror, just how you're so cautious. And it wouldn't surprise me if they are the same. Let's get one more for that. They could be a fire sign. You could be, there it is. So I always say wands in tarot is days, confirming days if it's not fire sign. But the communication that's coming is going to be quite passionate, quite forceful, and quite full of action. Now you're to confirm this spy, they'll be back, and the months good things come to those who wait. You've got this person is reminiscing and thinking of the sexual chemistry. So as a detail, when this person approaches you, are there memories of them coming in passionately, sexually? Like I'm seeing that Knight of Wands. Because even though you've got communicate, wanting to compromise and work it out, why do I feel that, and I will break it down, but just intuitively, I feel this person might be coming in a little bit impulsive and leading with passion, okay? Especially if that's something you're fed up with. Because remember, this collective, you've got make room for the new beginning, but there's something here that's going to make you overwork yourself, and they're saying don't. Remember, you got luckies on your side about commitment. If this is an approach that frustrates you, right? And I always say, especially true divines, you guys get stuck on a layer. So if the layer of you guys is this person coming in, that kind of Knight of Wands, don't overwork yourself. Try and at least break that layer this time, okay? I was feeling more of a confession kind of energy, you've got communicate here. I always say communicate is different to confession. This first row, I'm a little bit stumped. This pregnancy, moving cycles, hopefully this reading really clears that up. Because if this is something that's been bound to your cycles, it means you haven't had a full circle moment. So there's something with a deep conversation that's needed here. The right collective, this will all make sense. I always say when something's completed out, when we've welded something out, it's not going to continue to come into our cycles. There's something that hasn't here, and it's got fate and karma tied to it. This is important. Okay. Before we break everything down, I'm just getting called to get our little black deck just to confirm your connection. Again, don't details for a reason. All right. I just had my hair in there. Hair's magic. Could have just done your hair. All right. This spy. So this is the energy around your connection. So it's not your perspective. It's the energy around your connection. Whoa, whoa, whoa. One more. Okay. This card that's up is actually very good. Oh my God. First card, your confirmation. So there is an expression of love that's coming. Someone's about to express their love. A message of love, thinking of you, letting you know, with abundance. Trying to keep a positive mindset, manifest exactly what you need and want, gratitude and bliss. This collective, you are not doing that right now. Watch the whole reading. So this is the energy around your connection. So this must be coming from them because you're freaking out. This collective, you're wanting to break free from the thought pattern of incoming communication, your first part. Wow. So confirming the clock in the purple deck. There has been a lot of time here, so don't make it fit. This needed time. It took a lot of time. Time in cycles. Okay. Time to heal and progression. So to have keeping a positive mindset, gratitude, like manifestation, this collective, you're clearly connected. Okay. You have been healing, and that was a huge part of your first part. This isn't you just activated. I feel you've had quite a few ascensions that now you're just ascending, but because you've had so many, it's like you're questioning what's going on with you right now. Watch, you know what I'm going to say. Wow. So there's been a lot of endurance here. You just had the palm tree. Does it feel stable? Does it feel secure? Does it feel permanent right now? No, I think this was past that you've had to. Now, through your healing journey, through your progression, you've really had to have endurance and flexibility when it comes to this whole situation, which is such a divine thing. But again, do you see that there's stability and security on its way for you? No. Palm trees. They could be an importance. I don't always see it, but I'm seeing a road with all the... we lost it. So you got... Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have to re-explain it. Okay, so you got the sailing boat, and I said, this is beautiful. So you are about to receive what you need, progression arriving, moving on from closure issues, right? Then underneath the love call, you got the sunglasses again. So I was saying, what I was explaining, this collective, you have such powerful, deep instincts, intuition, that gut instinct, but your overthinking sends absolute havoc in you. And I tell everybody this in my personal life, the people I love and also people I read, and I say it in collectives. We are all born intuitive beings. We all have intuition. We all have that gut instinct, but people trust their overthinking mind instead of what their body is telling them. When something happens in your life that's significant, even if it's just soulfully and your mind starts accelerating, write it down, because your intuition, it lasts for about 5 to 10 seconds, right? And then as the days go on or the hours, you start to overprocess, you start to overthink, and then you start trusting your blockages, your programming, your fear, your armor over what your true body's emotion is telling you. This collective, you know this person is accessing your auric field right now. You know it. And you're like, I've got to cleanse and clear this out. But then you start thinking, oh no, but it's my own. No, I'm crazy. They couldn't be. They're this, they're that. Every deck that's come out, it's confirming this person is watching you. Write it down. So then that moment, time it, date it. When you start overthinking, you go back to your gut instinct, so you trust yourself. And then you're like, no, I know what's going on. I'm not going to let that programming, that fear, the static over your mind, watch the whole thing, consume me. I'm going to trust myself. I am going to trust what I'm feeling. I know this is not my emotion. Because this collective, you're so onto it. But you trust you're overanalyzing, not what your soul is telling you. So how would you understand your body's emotion? I always say there's no bigger sign than our body's emotion. It's our compass in life. But if you're constantly trusting this over this, you'd be a confused mess. So now when we then this abundance, positive mindset manifests exactly what you want to need. When you're in your center, you're not silly. You know what's going on. When you start to overthink, no, but they've strung me along. They made me feel like an option. It can't be them. Otherwise, they would contact. If they wanted to, they would. It's like that society's belief system comes over you. Makes sense? And remember when that first came out, I said, that's not this collective. This collective's a mess. This is you guys right now. I think this is this person trying to stay positive. Both deviations that just came then. Okay, this is the energy around your connection. And let's take this to you. The universe is saying, stop thinking like this. Whatever the case, just focus on you and the things you have gratitude for, the things that make you feel positive. And I know you're trying to. I know, well, again, your first part, you can see how much you're trying to just break free from emotion and the things you can't control, the things that are out of your hands. You don't want it to be a focus for you. I do get it. This clock. Yeah, you both needed to evolve. You know, I say this a lot as well. When you are thinking constantly of a past person, especially in the divine community, you need to become different people. And you guys hold on to the past versions, right? So the past trauma, who they were when you met them. It's like you can't break free from the remembrance of who they were. But who they were, who you were, it didn't work. You both need to evolve. And this is why it takes so much time. We talk about it all the time. To truly change as a person, minimum 2 years, I say, minimum. To truly start finding yourself, it takes a lot of time to heal. But the longer you keep holding on to past grievances, past hurt, don't stress about the past, it makes you stress about the future, you wish you were your present, we talk about it all the time, you're going to repeat the past because you can't let go of it. So yes, this person maybe made you feel strung along in. I don't feel this collective because this is underneath the clock. You haven't seen this person's new version. You probably haven't seen their old version for a while. You don't know who they are as a person at the moment. So stop trying to put them in a box, okay? It's not serving you. And if you're true mirrors, they would do the same about you. They would hold on. They wouldn't be able to change their perception of you. We talk about perception all the time. That comes through seeing people's change through action. This collective, that clearly hasn't happened for a while. Let go of the image that's been created. This key on a ring, this, you don't know that for fact anymore, who they are. I always say this, and you guys are proof. If you want to change, you can. This collective, you've been going through a healing journey. If you can change and you believe this person really is your mirror, have more faith in them. This, not enough. Ego. So this is why there had to be so much. You both had insecurities. You both felt not enough for one another. You both felt frustrated in this relationship. You both had lack of confidence. You both were self-sabotaging. Everything I say is for a reason, and it's probably because of this outlook. You just couldn't let go of the past. There was jealousy issues here. There was so much that needed to evolve. Otherwise, you would have repeated the past. Trust in your divine will. And then this one. So this is what's about to be relieved, right? So this is where you've got your sailing boat from this person presenting, not dealing with this. They were hurt. They were avoiding the conversation. They were avoiding calling. They could have presented angry. So this confirms, right? This confirms for the right collective, you haven't seen this new version. This person's been avoiding you like the plague. Okay? They've been hurt. You didn't know what was going on. This is why it made you lack your confidence. So again, for the right collective, you're holding on to a past version. Let go of that past version, because look at where your heart lies with this person. This is what I don't understand when sometimes I read collectives. You want someone in your life so badly, but the way you see them and the things you say internally about that person you're craving, it doesn't make sense to me. They're this, they're that, they're they're a narcissist, they're an addict, they're this, they're that, but then you're there watching love readings, but I want this person back by my side. It doesn't make sense. The reason humans do that is because we're programmed to judge people. So people, because you feel silly for loving someone, you're like, no, but they're this, they're this, they're all of these things, which makes you angry for a moment, but then you sit there and pine. And you're like, oh no, but I want them back. They're the love of my life. They're my twin flame. They're my divine. It doesn't make sense. And this is why you guys have to learn to break free from this. We talk about this stuff all the time. You either are positive and surrender to you, or you hold on to this person plays games with me, they string me along, they this, say that, they this, say that, they this, say that. You need to make your mind up. But right now, whatever's here, they're trying to give you a sailing boat. But I'm going back to that caution. It's like this collective, you constantly shoot yourself in the foot when this person comes in because you're holding on to a broken version of them. And the right collective, this should be like ding, 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 ding. So because you're holding on to that broken version, you have an expectation, even though you're craving them, that they're going to hurt you. So your feelers are on for everything in their temperament. So anything that doesn't align with you, the way that you think, because this collective, it makes sense with the dark night of the soul, they're evolving, right? So you have this expectation that they're evolving, but yet you still think deep in your soul they haven't evolved. So you're 50-50 in the mind. So the littlest thing this person does, you're going to lose your banana because you're just not letting it unfold. And this is probably why this connection is just so stuck and can't take off again. That's probably your layer. This is reminding me, one of my collectives, every time this person comes in, you are so on high alert, you're probably like, hey, and then if they're a little bit cold, you're like, bleh, and you just go off. I've excused it again. Why didn't I put boundaries up? Your choice. Let this person show you they've evolved, and vice versa. If you're true mirrors, you both do this internally about each other. You're both coming in constantly high alert, and then these little tiny shifts, they think, well, they haven't changed. You think they haven't changed, but you guys don't talk about it. This is why this purple part, it is so important that you're not overworking yourself with the details and you just let it flow, okay? I always tell you guys, that expectation, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You clearly, this person is clearly so intimidated by you. Every deck, they're spying on you. So there's a reason they're scared to approach you. Just the nicest way. All right. Let's get into it. I just want to get a universal message for you guys. Then we'll really tap into what's going on here and then what's coming next for you in general with tarot in the next couple days. I just want to see this universal message about you guys. Okay, first card. So you've definitely, this is good, you really have gone within, but you've got a completion coming up right now. You've gone within, you've chosen silence, you've chosen rest, you've chosen to self-reflect. Again, completion. There could be some form of celebration on its way from an ending. That's okay. You've got the raccoon here, a problem solver. So that's where that observant nature comes from. You want to fix things, you want to solve things, you want to soothe things. So this is why you would have this expectation. You'd get these examples. You would be someone always anxious to please your lover or personal relationships. When there's conflict, you just want to solve it straight away. I always say there's different argument styles. You've got the yeller, the talker, the silencer. Some people can just go completely blah and get it all off their chest and just have an expectation that even though you've just gone blah, that person you've just lost your banana with is meant to, just because now you've said sorry and you want to solve it, that they're just meant to be okay again. Some people can't take the blah, they shut down. And they have to reflect. Sometimes that really forthright approach, it can really, especially you don't know someone's ruling energy, their birth energy. If they're a hermit, if they're a hanged man, there's someone that needs to contemplate and get over it slowly. And when you have different argument styles, if you guys don't know compromise, this puts roadblocks and frictions in your connection. Now, I feel this collective, you are a problem solver. You want the solution. Am I saying you're no, you could just be a talker. But if you're connected to a silencer, someone that shuts down, you need to give them breathing room, right? So through your separation, you would have had so many examples, family, friends, whatever it is. Are you anxious to please? Are you anxious to solve? Is this something you need to start understanding that not everyone, I always say it's dangerous to overgeneralize people. Not everyone thinks like you, moves like you. When you just think people should react the same way you should react, it's not healthy because everybody's different, right? So this collective, yes, you've been reflecting, yes, you've been soothing, but you're still got this. I need to ask questions. I need to get to the bottom of all of this stuff. Like, just, there's a reason this is coming out for this collective. Sometimes you need patience and, again, compromise, especially when trying to soothe a grievance and come to a solution. I always say, when you're in some form of friction with someone, you've got your truth, they've got their truth. If it's a no-win situation and there's no compromise in that moment, you both need to choose to just leave it be and come back to the table when you're both in a place where you can hear each other out and come to a compromise and solution instead of having an argument, okay? So again, back to, can't have an expectation of it should be this way, that way. Everybody's different. But you've got a new beginning here. This is also a card, just side note, of being an entrepreneur and very resourceful. So yeah, this is a lot to do with prosperity, this bunny card, but you do have procreation, and pregnancy is a big detail for this collective. But you've got new beginnings when it comes to desires. You've got a sudden increase on the way, fertility, multiple choices, and procreation. 17th of January could be an important birthday or memory. Perfect. This is amazing. So you've got the eagle here. So you really have learned how to change your perception of things, right? But you are someone naturally, you just challenge the status, like you're a different person. You're an individualistic. All spiritual people, you do. You just are so unique, especially when it comes into the mind. But you've got opportunities on its way. New hope is about to be restored. Something that is going to provide longevity. So long term, nothing short, that something that's actually going to create permanence, a beautiful structure. I'm seeing that house card in my mind. Something you're going to be very proud of. You have a clear vision and a beautiful perspective. So you really have transformed here. So there's something about the past, present, and future about to unite. Normally when I see that, I see a judgment energy. So you are coming in, you are uniting a past, present, future version of yourself. But I'm actually, because all the cycles, watch the whole reading, I actually think there's something coming into unite. But I do believe, even though this collective, you've really evolved when it comes to the way you communicate, has this person to the extent you have? I'm not quite sure yet. There is something I think you need patience. I just keep bringing up this collective's expectation here, right? Clearly because you've been hurt. I do get it. But if this is something that they're telling you, don't overwork yourself. This is something that can be beautiful, but this collective specifically, you overwork yourself into a state of, unfortunately, sometimes shooting yourself in the foot with something that they're trying to actually release to you, because it's kind of that I'm right, you're wrong kind of energy, okay? They're wanting you to finally, these obstacles that have been in your life, they're wanting them removed. I feel this collective, you could have made this work your last cycle. I feel this collective, your last cycle, they were trying to give this to you. And it's like you just missed it. I always say nothing's ever, if it's on your path in life, but you'll just keep prolonging the timeline, right? Till you work out that once you've activated. And there's a reason this is coming to my mind. I was meant to be released to you your last cycle. Right, collective, you'll know exactly what there would have been a moment that this could have taken off, and unfortunately the same habits fell into place. Gentle, loose, your dream state. Detail, don't make it fit. Your dream state would be wild right now. But you've got your wits about you, but don't be... Okay, they're saying you need to trust. You are powerful, telepathy. Trust and that was a big detail for this collective. You're so powerful, but your bloody overthinking mind gets you in trouble. But obstacles are about to be removed. You have supportive things that they're trying to give you. And this collective, you're expecting the worst right now. And that's really sad. It's sad. 19th of the 1st or 13th of the 1st. January is clearly an important month for you guys. You've got to let this go. This more information's needed. Caution. That's where most of my deviations are going, to that one row. It's time to let that energy be and trust. You're finally coming to the end of a very, very overwhelming... Well, they're trying to close you out of that cycle, right? But you've got to be a little bit more open-minded. You've got to adapt a little bit. Remember how connected you truly are. Another card of your wisdom and how wise you are. The perfect touch. This one. See both sides. And we said that just before. You can't focus on the chameleon, the deception, the shape. Like, this is not healthy. This needs to change. Remember your empathy. So this, for the right collective, is what constantly blocks you at the same layer. Okay? Do not make it fit. This raccoon energy. I think this energy is so beautiful when it comes to personal growth and when it comes to achievement. This problem solver, adaptive, dynamic, I think that's great. When it comes to personal relationships, you just need to learn to read the room just a little bit more. Just not everyone's like you and thinks like you. Just remember that, and that's okay. That's okay. The moon, you don't see it properly. That's the biggest, and the sad thing is you're not doing it from a malice. I think you think you're doing it from a place of self-worth, but I explained it when we were reading this. It doesn't make sense, because this collective, no matter if you think you're doing it from a place of worth or value, you just sit there pining over this person. This is a block for you guys. This is where it needs please just watch the whole thing, because they're literally saying this energy, moon, you're not seeing it right. You're always expecting the worst. This collective, trust. Okay, you could have severe trust issues. Remember how much you've tapped into your true soul. That moon for me is so much about ancestral discovery and understanding who you are at the core. So we know this is you at the core, but this other person isn't exactly like that at the core. Mirrored connection or not, when it comes to communication styles, you guys are different, and that is okay. Compromise. Oh, got another card of pregnancy underneath the rabbits. This is another huge detail for the right collective, because remember this deck. This is something bound to your cycles. Again, watch the whole thing. If that is, you know, in your core doesn't align with you, not your reading. The bunnies with the stork. 17th of the 1st. 1717 is important. A transformation change finally on its way from things that have made you restless. Another card of moving. This could be on your cards as well very soon, because you got that in that deck. Pregnancy, birth. You could be very slender and tall, or this person connected to you could be very slender and tall. Oh God, of course you get the stallion. You got the stallion, the eagle, and the elephant here. Yes, you got the rabbits and that, but this is who I think you are as a person. Weapon, powerful. You're about to break free from the... Remember the past, present, future vote. This is good. Break free, wild versus tame. Strong emotions are about to arise, but remember you've got this eagle's vision over this. Freedom, sexual energy. Your sacral is like... right now. There is something with this collective sacral, especially the dark night of the soul. You're going through so much things here. I wouldn't be surprised if you've got a cat or a dog or animals there. You know how cats do the little biscuits? If your cat is on your sacral area, your abdomen, giving you biscuits, they're clearing for you. They're clearing for you. Or your animals are sleeping on this area of you right now. That's coming to my mind so clearly. Or you've been having abdominal issues, or irregular, but go get checked if you're having irregular. Like there's something going on here actually physically for you right now, okay? But you're about to unleash the inner beast. 19th of April could be important. Oh God, and there's that. So the obstacles being removed from what? The message that's about to arrive in 2 days. The communication. Okay, full steam ahead if you let it and you have your wits about you. Message, movement, messenger, travel, news, visitor, a delivery, green light, progression, full speed ahead. You got double horse energy here too. 1st of the 9th, 9th of the 1st. January is important for this collective. Don't make it fit. All right. Oh, so you've learnt to overcome the barriers when it comes to communication. Communication uniting. I'm hearing, remember I did a collective, I only ever saw that bridge once, and I'm seeing it again. It could be the same collective. Let me know in the comments. And I said there could physically be a bridge between you guys, like you have to cross a big bridge to get to one another. I heard myself say it again, and I've only ever seen that once in a reading before. But harmony, compromise, overcoming the barriers. Last one. Emperor, of course. But just you, and expect the unexpected, and trust in the divine, deeply committed, uncommon bonds, manifesting your deepest desires, family again, all in for what you love, reawakening lost hope. Expect the unexpected, but you right now, first part, your mental discipline, willpower, action is that for the right collective. Balance your yang right now. This journey is not, I'm a divine feminine. It's to balance you. It's to unite your yin and yang. To strengthen both masculine and feminine within you. Okay, so yes, externally expect, yes. But also internally, your beautiful balance. Remember that. So you've got, and 10, completion. They don't have a number. All right, let's get into it. I am first. Oh my God, you've got the Divine Masculine on the bottom though. That's good. Okay. I want to get this person's intention first. What is their main focus on their mind? What is their main focus when it comes to this collective? Wow. Okay. Hold on, what's this with? All right. Hold on, I want one more for this chaser. Perfect. And I want one more for charismatic Casanova. Oh, too many. I've got to get them. Okay. Signs that are important here, because you got fire sign, right? At this, watch the whole thing. We've got Aries energy here and Aquarius energy here. Now, this doesn't have to, there's something clearly, because again, sense of urgency, these are meant, don't ignore the details. So it's either this person, it could be your Venus, like your Venus or your moon, or it could be external energies as well. Okay, so when I first saw this charismatic Casanova, especially with this chaser here, I thought this person is still very blocked, right? But what's confirming these, I think this is more what they're reflecting on. So I think for a very long time, this person didn't understand the connection or the way they felt when they were with you. They weren't ready for whatever this was. So I think this person, unfortunately, it's reminding me of one of my collectives. This person promised you the world, but they could never deliver it. And you would have seen that. They could have been promising you marriage, children, this and that, and probably didn't even have a good job, or didn't have a car, or lived with their family, they would have been promising you all of this, but you would have seen, right? Let's take the words and validation away from it. Them as a person, their values, their structure around them, even though they were promising you the world, if you weren't bound by trauma and that love that just validates you and is obsessive and makes you feel seen, you would have been like, you can't give me any of that. Look at your lifestyle. How in life can you give me those things that you're promising me? Right, collective, this will make sense. Because remember, your first part, you see this person, if it's not an actual age gap, their emotional immaturity. So if you weren't bound by your trauma, you would have known straight off the bat, these are false promises. They cannot be delivered, right? But now when they reflect on this, so you can't blame them for that because you accepted that, is what I'm trying to say. Because this is human nature, the judgment, the opinions, and we spoke about that before. You guys accept absolute, just words, but then when those words aren't delivered, you blame them instead of thinking, I should never have accepted those words to begin with. If I was in my self-value, self-respect, those words would have repulsed me. I would have seen this person doesn't know how to love. They love intensely. They love too quickly. They fall in love before they know what love really feels like, right? So they don't know how to be in love. It's just the point I'm trying to make here. But this is what's confirming this, right? So since they've been balancing their life and finally making probably they're better off than where they were when they were with you. Again, for the right collective, I don't need someone saying, oh, they were this, they own their own business, they were good. That's great. But this is not your collective. I'm trying to balance the scales of my life and our connection. I took from you more than you were able to give, and I used you for my own benefit. So again, confirming this person was constantly taking from you, but promising you the world. But I now understand this was unhealthy and unfair to you. I'm sorry. I acted like I didn't care, but I truly did. I just needed time and space on my own. I didn't want to be tied down by this relationship because I couldn't put in the work. So they're really confirming this person, everything they were saying, they literally could not provide you, right? But again, your choice to believe it because of your trauma. There are always two parties at fault is my point. I know this might sound harsh, but there's a reason it's coming out this way for this collective. Tough love, okay? But since they've been balancing, they're starting to realize the way they approach things, especially when it comes to emotion, there's at least a little bit of accountability, okay? So now, deep within their soul, they feel inspired by you, which the right love does. I think the reason I'm speaking like this for this collective, because the biggest thing here, and I love you guys to bits, but one of the biggest blocks I'm seeing for this collective, you've really bound yourself to that wounded feminine. You've put yourself in that ivory tower where you just expect this person to just be like, oh, I've done all of this. It's like you're not seeing your part of it is for the right collective. How much I've deviated about certain things here, your mind, I just don't think the right collective, every time this is meant to come in for you, you've shot yourself in the foot because your expectation is this person needs to just bend over backwards to try and prove to them that they'll never do this again. It's like you're just expecting this declaration where you're not seeing your part in it for the right collective, because I just don't want you to miss this cycle again, right? I always say sense of urgency readings, it's not all sunshine and roses. Yes, this person hurt you, but if you were in your worth back then, it would never have gotten this far. This stuff they could never provide, it was empty words. But you've been holding on to those empty words for like the right collective. It's like the penny hasn't dropped just yet. Hopefully this makes a penny drop and doesn't trigger you. But anyway, I became inspired by your presence, your energy, and your beauty. Okay, without you, I'm missing the tools to create my next masterpiece. They're starting, and the right love inspires us through action, not through words. You should be like this. You should try to change that's ridiculous. Anyway, now this one was really alarming for me, right? And it makes sense with you guys in the mirror you have. You both have been blaming each other. You both have had no compromise on each other's outlook, right? And this might baffle you, but I'm going to explain, okay? I don't know what I did to push you away. And I see this so much in the divine community. I see this so much. You even get your energies mixed up, especially same-sex divines, the masculine feminine role. You guys can really, it takes you a long time because remember you're meant to find balance, right? But I see a lot of actual masculine energy that thinks they're the feminine energy, right? And vice versa. And this here is making me feel the energies here, you haven't understood them properly. I don't know what I did to push you away. Was it something I did? Was it something I said? You told me you loved me and you'd never felt this way before, then why did you leave me? And I know for the right collective, you could be thinking, yeah, that's exactly what happened. They told me they love me and then they left me. How could that be their outlook? So this is where you need to go back. Just till, let's say, your connection was going into destruction, right? However far, and even though I'm telling you not to live in the past, this person clearly has memories of you giving them you are the love of my life. I've never felt a love like this before. You're perfect to me. I do want to spend the rest of my life. How you're holding on to their false promises. They remember the exact same thing. So you guys could have had a little argument, right? Just towards the end. And you've got to remember, you guys sit and pine for so long. Sometimes you fail to remember how cold-hearted and how nasty you could have been at the start of the connection, like at the start of your ending. So this person, they probably thought, yeah, I effed up, but they gave up on me too quickly. And you might not understand that, but for the right collective, it really should drop a penny for you, for the right collective, because you could be holding on to, maybe you chase them for a little bit and they said some nasty words, but this person's holding on to, we said we would spend the rest of our lives with one another, and this one little, it's like they expected you to chase them a little bit, and you probably think you chase them so much, but to them, from what you had said, you put no effort in. So let's just say this happened, then you started posting raunchy photos, or they heard along the grapevine, you jumped back on dating sites, or you started to date again. They thought, look at how quick this person moved on. Yeah, we had an argument. Yeah, I was a dickhead, but all of this was just fake, especially if this person struggled with worthiness, your first part. So again, the confusion in the separation without clear communication, and I say this a lot, when you guys finally come in and finally have that depth of conversation, you guys have such a shock, because you're like, oh my God, I thought that's what you were doing, and I thought that's what you were doing. This collective, this person has blamed for so long, but so have you. But now, you got Cosmic Love over this. They're starting to understand it more. Even though we are not together, we are connected through and through. When I sleep, I dream of you. The dream state's important. We went into that. When I'm awake, I think of you. I'm able to see you as if you're physically here. So what they were once holding on to keep them away, starting to be removed. And I actually feel this reading is actually finding the right collective to help change your thought pattern a little bit right now. It's not even, yeah, they're coming in 2 days. It's to approach this differently and understand this person's point of view as well, because you're just holding on to how it has made you feel. And because of the time and the cycles, I do believe that there's moments you realize and understood how you had hurt this person, but not anymore. Now it's really kind of my way for the right collective. Again, that ivory tower approach a little bit. I was impulsive, irrational, and selfish. I pushed this connection to its break. So again, they're reevaluating. How could I think like this? Look what I did to this person. Let that penny drop a little bit for this collective. I'm sorry for causing so much conflict in our lives. Okay. I just want to confirm this one and this one, please. This is why this person's so nervous. It makes sense. So they get it. The timing of it all. Divine timing. Maybe they're waiting for some form of like green light. I'm looking at that messenger card in that. I'm wanting to take action towards you. I want to talk with you. I want to be with you. And I'm going to say, I know you've been patient, because I don't think they realize that for a long time. But this says, I will come back to you in divine. I do think they're waiting for some form of something from up above, which is good. It means they're connected to the signs and synchronicities. Cosmic love, divine timing, magical muse. This is good. They're glowing up. So this is a memory for the right collective. Another detail. So this impulsive, irrational, they're going over a memory from, so a cycle is closing in, because September. So we're coming into these months now. Another confirmation. So from September 22nd to November 6th, November 7th to this could be one of my collectives. Christmas was a really hard time for you guys. December 21st. This is where there's a memory that they were irrational, impulsive, selfish, and push this to its breaking point. Why did I expect this person to chase me? Look what I actually did here. Make sense? Because where I think they were blaming you for so long, they felt you should have chased them. But you did this, but it's lack of communication here. And even if you did chase, like, to them, it still wasn't enough, because they had no confidence. It's like this person, and maybe that was a pattern for them. Everyone they've ever been with just blow them up and this and that. It's like you could have done that for a little bit, but then thought, I'm not doing that anymore. this is a huge thing because I went into so much detail with it. Last one. Beautiful. Divine Feminine. I think you both need... this collective, you've been thriving in this energy. I'm not saying you haven't. You can see your transformation. It's just the outlook to this situation. That's all. Because of the time. It's kind of hardened your heart here. I'm working on my divine feminine side. I know I need to be more nurturing, understanding, and compassionate towards myself and others. I want to be more soft and loving, especially towards you. Beautiful. There's that age gap again. That's a big one for this collective. All right, let's get these divine truth cards. Let's actually see, because they've got a lot about soul development. Let's see if this person's really connected. And I quickly want to see how they see you as a person, because I just feel every deck they're spying, so there's some form of intimidation. So I just want to actually see how they perceive you right now. So we'll get these, how they view you, and then we'll see what's coming next. Not just with this, but with, wow, and that is how you are. Like this collective, that's why I think I'm just, and I hope it, I always say this, everything I say is coming from a place of love, because I really want you guys to get it right. And sometimes collectives need tough love, and other collectives it doesn't work. This collective, you clearly need a little bit of tough love for it to kind of, that's, and if it's been triggering you to a point of not your collective, you weren't ready to hear it, but they know you're over the games and you will no longer accept less than you deserve, which is good, but you don't need to be Queen of Swords. Come in with the truth. If there's no truth like that, just real, again, ivory tower kind of energy. She's such a cold lover. I think she's great for business and emotional growth. Relationship, bitch. Okay, wish granted. Beautiful. You're my purpose fulfilled. You're my sun, my moon, my stars. You're my everything. I feel this collective, you could be quite spicy. You could be quite blunt, especially with the way I'm speaking. And I always say projection, what we put out, we get. And if this actually has triggered you, maybe it's a lesson. How do you approach certain things when it's kind of the energy we've been talking about? Like, I know I can rip off. I really feel this collective, like I've been... Oh my God. Again, this is probably why you're a bit like this right now. So they left you on red the last time you... Because I genuinely feel this collective, you do feel like you've chased them. It's just this person's outlook. They really... Anyway, watch the whole thing. I'm not sure how to respond to your message at times, so I just stay quiet. So they're going over your last point where they didn't respond back to you. And this is probably why they know you're over their games. And you will no longer accept less than you deserve. Okay. Oh, that's nice. They want to grow old with you. Promise me you won't stop loving me even when we're old and grey. Together forever. It's a little bit of that energy. How can you forgive the mess I made? That how can you, will you handle all my scars? It's like they're scared to really show you who they are at a deep level. Like, will you promise me you won't stop loving me? Like, okay, their playaways. They were immature and they lacked emotional in this collective. That's what you're focusing on, but that's what hardens your heart and creates this expectation. You don't, they know it. Watch the whole thing. They never gave the right intentions. And that's where I really started ripping in. And I said, but they would have shown you the promises they were making. They could not deliver. Their emotional intelligence, their lack of a good income, living with family, just watch the whole thing. Because I think that would have been the part that really triggered this collective. And again, it was coming from a place of love. I keep having to apologize, and it's so funny because I always say we embody the collective's energy, but remember that part about how you're so anxious to please your lover or personal relationships, and I had that deviation. You just go blur, but then you want it to be, and that's kind of like, I literally just went blur, and now I can't stop saying sorry. That would be the right collective's personality. Everything happens for a reason. Do not make it fit. I always say those little things that come out in a reading. This is why collectives will really resonate. You know, when I say to you guys, when the divine, when you activate, you're open to the frequency, you're open to the knowledge. This is when you start learning. Before your activation, you would have just scrolled past it, right? And I say this about readers that resonate with you because they connect to your frequency. So those, when I do collectives and you're like, oh my God, it's not just the words that are coming out, but my mannerisms, the way, because I always say we embody you guys. This is what would make you connect more. Does that make sense? Right, collective, that would make sense. But that just came in like, bah, 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 because I literally, anyway, makes so much sense. This reading. Beautiful. So they feel your frequency shifting, if they know it or not. And you really are trying to cleanse and clear this out. I can't stop thinking about you right now. We are aligning on, I don't know if they know you're aligning on the same frequency. This is underneath. They know you're over their games. They want to surprise you. Life is full of surprises, and I have something very special planned just for you. Wish granted. What? Again, every deck. Again. Spy. Every deck. This is why it's because of what they left you unread with. I'm seeing a very long message. This isn't just like this was something. They're spying, they've got wish, because remember I said I want to see how they see you, right? Because of how much they're watching you. But the watching came underneath, you're their wish granted. You're their purpose fulfilled. You're their sun, moon, and stars. So it's more of an obsessive watching. How didn't I see this? If it's truly divine, they weren't meant to in that time. Like, see it for, oh God, the hopeless romantic. Literally, how didn't, you got the knight in shining armor. How didn't I see this? I want to show you what real love is, protect your heart, show you everlasting love, but they couldn't even respond to you. Anyway. How can I make this person feel safe again? When the one moment I chose silence. How are they ever going to feel protected in my energy? They're over it. So underneath growing up, scared of the heartbreak. And now they are willing to put in the effort, that chasing part. The wrong choice was made, and now I sit here in pain over losing you. I'm regretting my past actions and realizing letting you go was a huge mistake. Good confirmation for that. All right, this last one, this emotional intelligence. Oh, letting on more than they know. I'm tired of pretending that I'm happy without you. The silence is killing me. We have got not one card about enlightenment, growth, transformation. We've only got the frequency card. So they're still not... One more. I've got two more. Oh no, divine intervention. Perfect. So, divine intervention. Expect a miracle. And I've said that a few times. Divine intervention is pushing you two back together. But they're not. There's a reason they're not showing me their spiritual growth here. That's one thing I look for. You are my muse, their magical muse. My inspiration to create and ignite myself. So they have been... So that's also why they watch you, because they've been evolving from you, Do I think they're exactly where they need to be? No. But telepathy, and you know that, you can feel that, that's part of your part. But the emotions definitely there. Although I do say, you divines, you do have a chapter of healing together. Like, they don't come in completely, but they should be matching your spiritual frequency enough for you to... It's not at a point where you completely accept it, because normally, and this is general, but normally you guys, the tables really turn and the runner becomes the chaser becomes a runner. So the way their energy is when they first come in, they're not aligning to you, right? Because you know how you meet people, you're like, oh, or I wouldn't say you guys get the ick at the time for union, but you definitely have enough strength to put up boundaries, because they're just... It's like your energy is repelling them a bit, right? And I kind of feel this person, has there been a little bit of emotional growth? Yes. Are they completely your spiritual equal just yet? I don't think so. How do they see you? The eagle. That's how the universe sees you too. Oh my God, you've got the same cards here. Oh God, that's why they're nervous. This... You're established. This is about early retirement, so they see you very successful. Don't make it fit your ambition, your experience, your achievements, your maturity, your career, how much you've developed. This is also a card about sexuality, number 30. Oh God, that you're on a quest in life, that you've relocated. Moving's another big thing here. Your dependability, your loyalty, but you know where you're going, but you're someone that leaves no one behind. There's that loyalty. They remember your loyalty to things. You're a very faithful person. Now, they remember your dream state, because that's where I deviated about your dream state. Don't make it fit. That have memories, but how gentle you are, how you have your wits about you, how you're powerful, wise, you trust your telepathy, how supportive you are, how you remove obstacles. I think that's them reflecting on the messages. I think they've kept everything that you've given them, because you got that left on red. But how you achieve your goals, how your green light in life, literally full speed ahead. How you've just created so much forward movement for yourself. But I do think those messages and the things that you have, like, I do think this person deep reflect, but they remember the tornado too. And this is why I think they're so, every deck they're spying on you, every single deck. The storm brewing, they're torn up, a sudden unexpected end. A total wreck, the breakdown, the ending of this. So they still remember the pain. So they are scared. And that's that grow old card. There's still scarcity in them. Oh, they see you as the star. You've had miracles here when it comes to your path, how you've established yourself. You could be in Aquarius because you got that. How you're independent, you're original, a little bit opinionate, you're intellect, you're eccentric, but you can be cold and detached. And that was a huge thing for this collective. But they see you as a star, your peace, serenity, calm, the way you trust in the universal flow of life, how you create miracles for yourself. And they see you as their sun, moon, and stars. Remember that. Oh my God, your social media, even this deck. What is going on? So they do spy on your social media. So this is, you're on a quest, you're dependable, faithful, you leave no one behind, you know where you're going. Your social media, publicity, internet, fame, expansion, spotlight, connected, exposure. This person thinks you're going to be like famous or something. You! Every deck. Oh my God. Wow. Oh. They remember the passion. And that was in your purple one as well. Passion, chemistry, but that you're happy. Celebrate life. Remember your kisses, the hot sex. Explosive. the excitement that they felt with you. And you could be a bit of an excitable soul, like you get excited over the little things. Oh, you make them nervous. But they do remember the back and forth. Because remember I said they're looking at the messages, the communication, the back and forth, nervousness, making contact, text or call. There is such a pivotal point, the last point, that this person did not write back to you that they cannot get past right now. Wow, and the child. So there was a storm to do with a child for the right collective. Don't make it fit. You've had this pregnancy stuck in your cycle for God knows how long. The child, 13th of the 8th, could tie you to that. 1313, how you've surrendered to the divine. But also, let's take it to the emotion they remember about you. They see you've changed. You're in new beginnings. You found your innocence. You're brand new. You follow your creative flow. You're carefree. You're tender. A new perspective. You guys could have been having a girl, but you're on target. You aim carefully. This is actually really nice. All nice cards. That's good. All right, let's quickly see what's coming next. This reading has gone for so long. All right. I did just want to see in general, but I think we're just going to quickly, because it's 2 days. Okay, this person's oh, wow. So they want to redirect the energy from the burdens. How funny is that they felt on top of each other? Okay, one, I think you're really coming into your magnetizing Queen of Wands. You're really coming into your self-confidence, which is beautiful. That's not the issue here. I just think this collective, you just need a little bit of a perception shift with a couple things. Again, watch the whole thing, okay? But I think you've got your confidence and your worth. I don't think you're going to be blinded here. You remember the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, but this is what I believe is redirecting energy-wise, right? So, and I think this is, and that was the big thing for you. I think because it's been so long now, you're just holding on to the and what was done, and you're like, nah, I've got to find strength, I've got to, and that's beautiful, but it doesn't need to be done in a kind of way. Okay, we've explained it so much in this reading, just really understanding both sides of it. You got the sailing boat with this, so I do think finally we're going to be able to breathe again, right? New chapter coming with this, especially with this Page of Wands, redirecting. I always say he's finding his new path in life. Okay, let's just get one more to confirm. Yeah, Emperor energy. And that was your last card in what was coming from the universe. Okay, so I do think they're coming in as well to redirect. I love this Queen of Wands energy. And remember, you got fire, passionate, blah, 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 blah. But as well, just, I do think you need a bit of gentleness here. That was I thought that was the Lovers. Perfect. As I said, try King of Pentacles. Whatever's coming, loyalty, he can be trusted, he's the most trustworthy. A lot of abundance he provides as well, very firm foundation, but he is a little bit stubborn. Okay, we say he's on his on his mountain castle in the background, having his cake, eating it too. He gets there from his firm approach in life, right? But I do also say this is my ride or die. I feel he is someone that can be loyal to a fault at times, okay? But I do believe this person's coming in with strength, loyalty, and some form of achievement. Now, let's turn to you, okay? I do think this collective, with what they're trying to relieve you, you've just got acceleration when it comes to confidence and even finances, okay? But you did get fire and earth in that purple deck, so there could be external things that are also people that, remember, you got with health, okay? So there could be some things in that avenue really coming to surface as well. All right, I just want... perfect. That makes me happy. I think you will know how to control... Female magician, taming the ferocious lion within, control of her emotion, infinite potential around her, self-belief and confidence. Whatever's coming, you're going to have confidence, you're going to have strength, and I do think you're going to have control. Okay, it's also a card of compassion when in balance, so that's very good to see. All right, let's just get one for this Emperor. Perfect. Very conquering, but could still be a little bit... I think it's finally unstuck, which is beautiful. I do think you're going to see self-reflection in this person, but I do think this does need to still be, I don't want to say delayed, but it doesn't need to be rushed. One more. Okay. He's coming in with the, just, this person clearly knows how to talk. I think having this Emperor here is your saving grace. He likes to create structure, stability, law and order, right? He does come in beautiful masculine energy, but I do think there's some deep things. That King of Cups, he's great with surface level emotion. I love you, I this, I that. Deep things and trauma. Like, he's just a little bit... This card specifies faithful, devoted, reliable, emotionally intelligent, and that's been a theme of this. You are going to see the emotional intelligence be evolved in this person, which I think that softens you, I'm going to be honest. But I do think that this person is still a little bit stuck on their journey, just a little bit, and that's okay. I just want one more for this King of... Whoa. Ten of Cups. So this is, it can be trusted here. Look at all the, you got the, this is crazy. So when I read tarot, if I'm seeing all the kings or all the queens, it comes together as the Emperor and Empress. You've got a lot of masculine energy here. I do think there's something to do with family arriving on your table as well, especially if it's tied to an air sign or a King of Pentacles. But let's see your emotional approach to what's coming next with your Ten of Cups. Remember, I kept saying you don't want to be like this. You need to soften your mind a little bit more and watch the whole thing. One, I'm seeing there could be something externally tied to family, right? That, let it be siblings, father figure. Two, I think this is going to be really hard for you to not embody masculine energy here. But your saving grace, I think you do soften when you see the evolution of this person. But they're still not evolved to the extent of... I'm going to say it. I think it needs, again, just slow and steady. You rushed it too quick in the past. Let's get overall. Yeah, just remember your cups from 9 to 10 of Cups. I always say that Cups journey takes us a long time to get to that 9 of Cups. Remember that. You are literally preparing for wishes to come true. I think you're just so scared to let someone back at your table that has, unfortunately, this needed to be done. And you've done the same. In their mind, you hurt them just as much. And I know that might not make sense to the right collective, but this is really, this reading has found this collective to understand their side. Okay, so... Anyway, I feel that was a beautiful reading. It could have been a bit triggering, but it was clearly something that this collective needed to hear. This is not a lost cause, so don't look at it like a lost cause. Libra scales, it's about to be balanced. Justice is on your side, okay? To be a lot of clearing and healing here, Citrine. Good luck, good fortune awaits. Your divine love has always been protected. The Hum's a hand, another one of protection. F and N, full moon energy, new moon energy, and then you've got the 2 pearls, slow and steady. My little white thread, there's something very faded coming. White candle, wax, you could have a white candle on, you could read candle wax, trust in the divine. Remember, they're creating a miracle right now. And then you've got your opalite. You could have just bought opalite, or you need to. Birthdays, memories, 10th of the 8th, 8th of the 10th, 13th of the 4th, 13th of the 4th, 4th of the 4th, 13th of the 8th, 13th of the 10th, 6th of the 2nd, 2nd of the 6th, 25th of the 6th or 25th of the 4th, 8 by itself. All right, I love you guys. Have a good day.